Hello and happy Halloween. We have a very special Halloween assignment for today. What we're going to be doing is basically copying a head from one picture, in this case it'll be me, onto another picture. In this case it's going to be Thanos, and we're going to be doing that in Photoshop. So this will be our intro to Photoshop. So a lot of these tools are going to be similar to what we've found in Illustrator. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to open Photoshop, creating a new file. And really, any size is okay. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the picture of Thanos directly into Photoshop. So you're going to go to Open, select the file, hit Open. Okay, so we got a lot of different tools here. Your layout might look different than mine. I've customized my layout to do the things that I want it to do. If you ever need to get, like if you ever close things out and you need to get things back to normal, you can always go to Window, Workspace, and then pick one of these. All right, so here's my picture. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the other picture. So I'm gonna go to File, Open. And I'm going to select this picture. So I'm going to hit Open. So what I'm going to do is press Command A, that's going to select everything, and then Command C, which we all know does copy. So I've copied that. I'm going to go over here and then press Command V. And it didn't work, so let me try it one more time. So Command C, Command V, there it goes. All right, so here it is. So just like in Illustrator, if we want to use the select tool, we press V. So I pressed V, and I can move this around, and then you'll see it's on its own layer. I'm going to lower the opacity, which is right here, so that I can see through it. And the way I do that is I put my mouse over the word opacity, I drag to the left, and you can see through it now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to resize this. But before I do that, well, there's some better practices, but I'm just going to show you the straight, simple, easy version first, since it's our first time using this. So I'm going to press Command T, and you can remember that by T stands for transform. And then just like in Illustrator, you see our mouse changes into these arrows when we place it next to these corners. I'm going to hold Shift just like in Illustrator, and I'm going to drag to keep it from stretching my head. And I'm going to place that right about there. Oops. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Enter. I'm going to cut out the background from the image. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and just like Illustrator, I'll press Z for the zoom tool and then click where I want to zoom into. I'm going to turn the opacity back up just so I can see everything. Now there's a number of ways I can cut my head out, but I'm just going to use the pen tool since we've already used that. So I'm going to press P for pen, and then up here right, it says shape. It's going to say shape, path, or pixels. We want it to say path. So if it doesn't say path already, click it and choose path. And now I'm just going to outline my head with the pen tool. So using the same techniques we're used to. And the reason I use the pen tool instead of some of the other options is we can always go back and adjust any of these points to make it more accurate. Okay. There it goes. Almost done. Okay, and I'm not going to be super fancy or on the bottom. I'm just going to do the very basics. So there it is. So I'm going to right click, and if you can't access right click, you can hold Control and click. and I am going to create vector mask. And it actually did the opposite of what I wanted. So I'm going to undo that. And I want to make sure if it does do that, so it won't always do that. In my case up here, you might recognize these from the Pathfinder when we were combining and subtracting things. Mine was set to subtract, so I should have been careful about that. So I'm going to set it to combine. And so now I'm going to define, create vector mask. There it goes. That's what I want. So now I can switch back to the move tool with V. I can move it however I want. Press Command T to adjust it any further. All right, and then I might actually scale it back up a little bit. All right, so go ahead and pause here. Do that part. And then once you've done that, I'm gonna have another video on how to change the color of the image.